Okay.
We have, is it Melissa?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
You probably didn't pick the perfect time to call in, having gone off that rant. What do you want to talk about?
Okay. Well, earlier you mentioned something about belief and the will, and I'd like for you to kind of expand on that, because that's kind of like, I think about, a belief is just a belief. I mean, I could believe that, the sky is freaking green unless somebody told me it was blue.
Sure.
Right. So I mean, like you, I don't know, I wanted you to expand on that, where you had said that belief, and you mentioned something about the will and thinking. Do you remember saying that like 10 minutes ago?
Oh yeah, I remember it, and I've gone over it a number of times. I'll hit it in a nutshell version. I view belief as the state of the mind's acceptance of a claim as true or likely true.
Okay.
Somebody made a claim, you think it's true, you think it's likely true, you believe the claim. I don't think belief is subject to will. I don't think you can, in a simple sense, say, I want to believe X, and therefore I'll believe it. You can believe it. Right.
It's like a total subjective thing. Like, it is. I mean, like I'm not an atheist. And I like reading about other religions and paganism and all kinds of stuff. And I really would like, I'd like to have all the answers, but I don't. But I was raised to be a Christian, and I totally rebelled from it, and I hated it. And I totally agree that, like, religion in itself, I mean, it's completely man-made, and it is really, like, messed up. Like, does parents who failed to give their daughter, medical help, and they just relied on prayer, I mean, that's, like, downright dumb, and they were stupid.
I agree.
That was so dumb. I mean, I don't think God, hello, that's why there's other people on the planet, so, doctors and whatnot to help out. But I'm just kind of curious, like, how can you, look outside and just look at the awesomeness and the vastness of this universe and how did you get here? On what basis are you an atheist? I mean, why? I mean, where did this come from? Tell me why you're an atheist. Because you don't have any scientific proof of God. I mean, what more do you possibly need?
Well, hang on, and I'm going to let Russell address this, but you seem to be saying that you just look around outside and that's enough evidence that a God exists?
Well, it's okay. It's probably not coming out right. But what I'm trying to say is, I don't know. I personally just look at the vastness of the universe, and I just feel like, I don't know, something had to create this. I mean, something had to.
Hang on just a second. Let Russell address the question, and you can formulate thoughts in a second and respond.
If I may, the question seems to be kind of a non sequitur, because, the question is, how can you look at this stuff outside and not think that this other thing that I throw out at you also exists? And I think the real question would be, why would you look at trees and the sky and a vast universe and all that other stuff and think, well, there must be a super powerful being in the sky who's something like humans and invented it all?
Well, right, because I can't at a whim just decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to make a tree today.
Right.
I mean, I can't do that. I can't decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to create a river. I'm just going to, I can't, there's limits on what I can do.
Right.
So
you're exactly right. So what makes you think that there's somebody out there who can make a tree? By what steps of logic did you come to the conclusion, here's a tree, there must be a guy who's more powerful than me who made it?
Well, I guess I don't know if I'd even call it logic. I don't know. I guess within everyone, or at least for myself, there's to believe in something beyond you, it gives you a sense of hope, and, it kind of fulfills this void, and I see that, and I'm kind of wow, I acknowledge that within myself, and it's kind of it's interesting.
Right.
What about ghosts and stuff? I mean, do you believe in ghosts and spirits and angels? Do you believe that that exists?
No.
No, you don't?
No, why would we?
I mean, haven't you ever felt like a strong energy next to you?
No.
You haven't, So, I mean, do you believe this? So you think that when you die, like you see, I mean, well, so I don't know, but I mean, do you believe that there's something within you that's intangible?
In a way, yes.
Probably not in the way you're talking about. I think that when I'm dead, I'm dead. I may be wrong.
Right. I mean,
I see.
I mean, how else can we possibly think about it? I mean,
well, the point is that
I don't like envision myself like up in heaven, like dancing around with angels. I just kind of like think of myself as when I die, I'll still be here on Earth. It's just that nobody will be able to see me.
Well, what good is that? I mean, I can understand having.
I don't know.
Hang on. I can understand having ideas that are comforting. It would be nice to think that there's some transcendent God being who loves me just for who I am, and you know, he's there when nobody else is, and he can help me find my car keys if I really ask him to. And he
well, not that kind. I mean, he's not like a magic wand.
Hang on.
I mean, that's why they call it faith. But also,
also nothing. Let me finish my point. Yes, that kind of belief is comforting, but that doesn't mean it's real, and it doesn't mean there's any good reason to believe it. And maybe when I'm dead, I'm not dead. Maybe there's some aspect of my personality or whatever, consciousness, that exists as some kind of soul and goes somewhere. But there's not only no good reason to think that that's true, there's good reason to think that it's not true, because everything that's ever been attributed to the soul as an attribute is identifiable as something that's a product of the brain, which we don't have a perfect understanding of it. We have a pretty good understanding of the electrical chemical processes that make up who we are, our likes, our desires, our hopes, and everything else. We've got we've got a minute left. I'm sorry, Melissa, we didn't get back.
That's fine. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Sure, and thanks. And you can always email tv@atheist-community.org if you want to carry on the conversation. And
quick
also,
plug. Do I have time?
Hurry.
There's a short story online that I think you guys might enjoy called "The Experimental Epistemologist." It's by Raymond Smullyan, and it's about somebody who thinks he knows things but doesn't know that he knows them. It's sort of a silly story.
So thanks to everybody who called in. And James, I know you're on the line with a point, but we have to let you go because we're out of time. Thanks for calling in. Anybody who didn't get on can email tv@atheist-community.org, or you can tune in again next week. Get your calls in earlier before we run out of time. Feel free to call in as soon as the show's on the air, and we'll try and get to you if you hang on. Thanks to everybody who involved in producing the show. We'll be at El Arroyo here in about 30 minutes for dinner. Any atheist or atheist-friendly person is welcome to attend. See you next week.
Bye.